Welcome to the locker room. I am Captain Paul. That is Fajardo. How's it going, Fajardo?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So, this is a little bit different for this channel. We cover hockey content, but we're also big NHL players. Me and him have both played competitively, and we take part in several Sixes leagues. So, this is kind of right down our alley of interest. And also, make sure to check out ProLevelGamer.com. That is going to be live within the next 2 weeks. We're going to be having a $5,000 tournament free of entry for Sixes teams this upcoming winter. But let's get right into the NHL 24 trailer. All the way, by the way, Discords for all of that will be included down below. So, you ready to get into this, Fajardo?
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited.
Alrighty.
From non-stop pressure and physicality to dynamic new ways to attack, EA Sports NHL 24 brings it and so much more. We couldn't be more excited to show you what's new this year, including a suite of new gameplay features that up the intensity, authenticity, and connectivity of the game.
So, it looks like hitting over the boards will be back.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I was always so good at taking people and just burying them into the freaking bench all the time before.
See, I'm for it. I would love for it to be back. I think that's great. So, yep, let's get into it.
Crossplay is here. Now, you can finally compete with or against your friends on same-generation consoles. This vastly improves matchmaking quality and shortens wait times, so you and your crew can make the most of your time on the ice.
So I think that is a good feature. They kind of experimented with NHL 23 where you couldn't play with other consoles, but I mean, the one thing I do worry about is the connection. Will the connection be solid? Because I think we've both experienced sometimes the PlayStation versus Xbox games could be a bit wonky.
So on that note, exactly, there is a way that you could actually test that on the current game model of 23. I found out. So it's kind of a way to do it where, let's say your buddy's on PS5,
Right.
and they're part of a club that just played a game. All you would have to do is go on to like when you can check your stats and stuff like that.
Right.
So like when you're in game and you can check stats, you can go and do a search for the team because it allows you to search for teams now.
Right.
So if you can go on there, go to that team, go to like the players, click on that player, you can friend them and invite them to play in the game, and you can cross-platform play right now.
That's interesting. I mean, it should be. I mean, that's funny. It's a workaround, but it's going to be way less convoluted. They'll probably have some type of friends list system. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, less wait time.
Yeah.
This is a literal game changer. The exhaust engine lets you feel the intensity of hemming an opponent in the zone, forcing you to make strategic decisions like choosing to establish puck possession or attack on the rush. Exhaust engine is made up of the sustained pressure system and the goalie fatigue system. The sustained pressure system rewards extended offensive events such as shooting, passing, and checking in the attacking zone, as you can see with the pressure gauge. The offensive team will gain a boost in stats due to the adrenaline effect, while the defensive team gets a decrease in stats due to the pinned effect. This change makes real hockey plays effective. The dump and chase can be used to wear down the opponent and retrieve the puck.
Okay, so we kind of talked about this a bit. I'm not the biggest fan, unless it's tweaked where the offensive zone pressure has to be like 45 seconds in real time or more, right? I'm not the biggest fan of making it so that defenders lose attributes and make it easier to score. Because in my personal opinion, it's pretty easy to score at NHL 23 as it is, right?
Yeah.
With all the perks and all the add-ons like close quarters and stuff like that. I'm hoping it's properly tuned, because if it just makes it so the defenders are just cardboard cutouts and can't do anything, it will get a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as a defender, it's already difficult, right?
Yeah, the advantages are all the forwards right now.
All the advantages, everything is pretty much set, and then like the good attributes that they have for the defensemen are normally on the slower guys that can't keep up with the current forward system, because the current forward system, you can max out a forward at 95 speed, right? And the only thing that can even come close to that would making a puck moving defenseman so small and so fast that it can keep up with them. But the problem there is that in order to do that, you're going to lose a lot. You're going to end up losing the reach advantage that you need in a lot of instances. You're going to also lose the physicality, balance. What else do you lose? You lose endurance in some cases, which you can give up a little bit. But you also end up losing like handling, like puck handling.
Yeah.
Being able to carry the puck effectively. And any defenseman that actually knows how to move the puck, that's a big part of your game. And if you lose that, it makes it almost impossible to get out of the corners or maneuver around the forwards that are attacking. And it's just a big advantage towards the forwards. And for the defenseman to lose attributes in a pressure system, that's even tougher. That's a lot tougher. I mean, they have to have some type of idea as far as like maybe a perk or something that nullifies that. That would be something, right? That might help the situation. But the pressure thing, I mean, again, the same way you said it, it'll be okay if like the team has like 30 or 45 seconds
like
in the
real
zone.
time.
Yeah, like real time, pressing in the zone. But if it's anything, like if it engages like as soon as you enter the zone, that's going to be horrible. I mean, it was already thin now with defensemen across the board in most leagues. And it will only get thinner going forward into 24 if this is the case.
Agreed.
Full pressure strategies, like peppering the goalie from all angles to tire them out, are now effective and cause authentic goal scrambles. And
Okay, but I'll play it. What goalie, like, after a rebound just starts kicking up his leg, just hoping for the best? Like, I get it to a degree with the desperation, but...
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few goalies do it. You know what I mean? I've seen a few. All right, and they're extremely skilled, and they're normally against me.
Wait a minute.
All right, it's just tough, bro.
are now effective,
Okay,
cause authentic goal
like, yo, stay on your butterfly. All right, I'm sorry. Just...
scrambles. And cycling the puck to build sustained pressure opens up new opportunities to attack the net. On the defensive side, you now have to choose between making the safe boards and out play or risk turning the puck over.
I like that because that's something that me and you both do, but you have to be closer to the boards. Like, I like that high dump off the glass. I'm glad that will be kind of a useful feature for defensemen.
Yeah, definitely a big part of the game, especially when you have this whole pressure system. Now, my question is, does the pressure system reset as soon as the puck leaves the zone? Or is it one of those that since it's a gauge, does it slowly fill up as you exit the zone? And if you don't clear it for more than, like, let's say 10 seconds, that you're still in that pressure system, but it, does it reset right away?
Right. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see.
In the slot. We've also added the goalie fatigue feature, adding over 50 new goalie animations, including a brand new desperation save package. Goalies will now tire as you increase attack zone time, move the puck around, and most importantly, get shots on net. As a goalie tires, they'll make more errors, causing rebounds and absolute chaos in the crease.
Yeah.
Goalie was already hard enough, and we're gonna make it harder, boys. We're gonna make this harder for y'all.
All they did was add like the Matrix to the goalie while he's sitting down. So while he's
just,
sitting down,
back and
he's sitting down and he's doing all this. He's okay, like, come on, guy. Like, first of all, they're already struck. Like, I'm not mad against them getting fatigued when you're peppering them from like all different angles, like with multiple shots.
That's realistic.
Right, that's realistic. I like that part. But, with the sustained pressure that they're also going to start feeling the fatigue, I guess to a certain point, it's somewhat realistic, because if you think about it, as a goalie, you're so focused, especially when the puck is in your zone, that you kind of can wear down, especially if it's over a long period of time. That part is realistic, but for, I don't know. It's kind of like 50-50. You got to see how it works.
We're going to have to see how this is balanced. That's the key. Like, if the offensive zone pressure thing doesn't activate until 30, 45 seconds, something like that, then it's a little bit more realistic. Now, if the goalie's getting peppered a ton, that makes sense because that's tiring, and then eventually a goalie's going to line up a goal. But if they're just sitting in the corners holding it and like there's not much going on, the goalie shouldn't be punished for that.
Take the body, take the game. The physics-based contact feature revolutionizes checking in NHL 24, bringing more physicality to the game and ramping up the fun and authenticity of defensive plays. Now, if you land a big check, your opponent will re-enter the play slower, creating more turnovers and counterattack opportunities.
Wait, don't they already do that?
Hold on.
Like big hits?
Wait, no. Okay, so 2 things on this, right? So one, the hip check is back. I know a guy, Ed Beast, shout out to you, my brother, because your hip checks are back, buddy. All right? But those animations look really clean, really nice. How they fold over the guy once they do the hip check, you know, all that stuff. Now, that slow get-up, that only happens when you're currently in the 23 version, right? When your guy's completely fatigued and you knocked them over, that's when they struggle to get up, right? Or when they get injured. So if they're adding this as just a good hit and no longer is, you know, one of those things that ends up happening because you're fatigued, now that changes the game completely, because now it doesn't matter if you're fatigued or not. You can still get put on your ass and take, you know, a while to get up. So it's kind of a different thing, and you got to see how they implement it. Because, again, right now, currently, on 23, it's fatigue-based. If your guy is fatigued, he takes a long time to get up. But now they're saying if you get clean hit, you know, like a clean hit on someone, they're going to struggle to get up like that. That's going to be... I don't know. That's going to be tough, especially with some of the perks that are out there. I mean, a lot of the leagues have banned them, you know, like truculence. Even Lockdown has that ability. You know, like if you get some of those hits and you have people struggling just to get up, that's going to be a big one.
But if you don't connect, you'll be left out of position. This really increases the risk-reward factor and makes gameplay incredibly exciting. Landing a clean, solid check on the opponent will result in new physics-based and animation-based reactions, creating tons of new wow moments in every game. A quick push on the right stick will allow you to shove the opponent, creating quick puck separation with lower penalty risk.
Okay.
Plus, we've also introduced a new gameplay meta that adds a dedicated reverse body check control. This allows the puck carrier to protect the puck with their body to impactful effect. And to make all of that even sweeter, you can now send players into the bench and break the glass.
Oh,
showing off your skill.
Let's go, bro. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yo, bro, you know how many times that they had to stop the game because I would just put people through the glass? I love that.
Bro, dude, I like personally that would be great. It looks like it shatters. I hope at one point, if it's already shattered, you can hit them again and like put them into the stands. That'd be hilarious.
I think they, as soon as it cracks that way, they probably stop the game immediately, kind of thing, to reset.
That's pretty funny. I think now they already technically have the get back at you perk where, you know, if you can like shove guys off like that. If it's balanced and it's not like a 5'7" sniper can just shove you off, right? If it's balanced and done well and tuned right, I'm fine with the offensive player having the ability to defend themselves from a hit. It's just a lot of this comes down to how they tune it, and I think it will be interesting to see how this develops over the lifespan of NHL 24, because we know Game 1 version is always far different from when it's wrapped up in the summer.
Well, on that same note, though, when they showed that, I don't think I realized it before, but they only showed that for defensemen moving out of the defensive zone. Now, if they added that to defensemen or a player leaving their own zone defensively only, that might be a thing, because the back at you normally works anywhere. But like that, like in order for you to like have a good breakout, sometimes you need to shed a player coming at you. So that might be interesting if it's like coming out of your own zone that you have that automatically activated.
Yeah, I think they showed one with Tavares. I'm trying to like, yeah.
With their body to impactful effect, and to make all of that even sweeter, you can now send players into the bench and break the glass. Showing off your skill has never been this fun. Total Control Skill Moves introduces a whole new control setup that makes highlight reel moves more intuitive and accessible. Button-back moves give you more options, but timing the play right and reading the ice will be the difference between success and failure. However, if you prefer legacy controls, you'll still have that option. Plus, a new ability to fake, pass, or deke out of every move also adds a dynamic new offensive layer to the game.
I mean, those are nice additions. Nothing really crazy there. I think some of that stuff you can do now, but hopefully they cleaned up the animations.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah.
Tick, tack, toe. Vision passing puts tape-to-tape play with your teammates at your fingertips, offering quicker direct passes to keep puck possession and mount that all-important pressure. By mapping the controller's face buttons to your teammates, vision passing doesn't just allow more efficient passing, but opens up different opportunities like disguising a pass on a PP to set up the perfect play. This also unlocks stretch and breakaway passes, giving you new ways to attack the net. But hitting the correct button alone won't guarantee a perfect pass. Gameplay components and player attributes all factor into a successful play. Plus, we've added one-touch passing.
Before they get into one-touch passing, I do like the button layout passing. I think that's a nice little feature. At times, because, and this is one thing in NHL 23, because sometimes players will be really close to one another, you'll be meaning a pass to throw it to a guy maybe on the half boards, and like instead it goes to the guy maybe a few feet away, more towards the face-off dot. I think it's good. I think that's actually, I like that addition. That reminds me of Madden, when you're playing Madden and you can hit the buttons to like pass from the quarterback.
Yeah,
I think that's a good addition.
Yeah, definitely a big addition, right? Because obviously you play defense, I play defense, right? And one of the biggest things is like when you're trying to make a breakout pass, right? You try to hit certain players, and because of how far they are and stuff like that, it makes it really difficult to get them the puck because it locks onto like maybe the guy behind them. So the guy that you're aiming for misses it, and there's someone behind him who intercepts the puck and comes back the other way. You know what I mean? So it makes it really difficult. But if you can aim it that way, that's really cool. You're probably gonna have to like, they're probably gonna put it into another thing because they said mapping your buttons out. So that means that you're gonna have to change a few things as soon as you get the game.
Yeah, I mean, which ain't bad.
Which lets you quickly move the puck around the ice by tapping the pass button as the puck is in transit.
I like that.
Altogether, this creates so many more exciting passing opportunities and ways for players to get creative on the ice. For our brick walls out there, an update to our human goalie controls makes playing goal more accessible and intuitive. Historically, the game's controls made it easy to lose the net, creating frustrating empty net goals and a steep learning
why
curve.
is he right slide,
So in
left slide
NHL
there?
24, we've added a new tethered control system. As you slide back and forth to make saves, you simply release the left analog stick, and your goalie will auto-return back to a centered position.
That's gonna get abused. I
We've
know what's
also
gonna
added
happen.
a new instinct.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, you're gonna be a goalie where you're just new to it. You're going right post to kind of take the short side, and then it just tethers because you let go of left analog stick. You get
Yeah,
screwed.
yeah. I mean, that's gonna be an adjustment for goal. I mean, you thought defensemen was scarce. Goalies were pretty scarce in 23, and it's looking like it's gonna get even scarcer. Honestly, it's gonna.
I mean, hopefully it's done effectively, and it's something you turn off or on, right? Depending on the quality of goaltender you are, because like I'm pretty good in goal. I like playing goaltender, but it's just, yeah. I mean.
System. This allows you to guess the location of the shot for a bonus on your save attempt.
Oh, I like
Guessing
that.
wrong increases the chance of a goal. It's a nice addition for our veteran goalies and really breathes new life into the position. From high-pressure plays that'll leave you sweating to sending your friends into the bench, NHL 24 steps the game up to give you those authentic hockey feelings. Thank you for watching, and catch you on the ice.
Okay, I mean, I think. All right, so I mean, my thoughts on that trailer is like I'm optimistic. Now, personally, I thought some people really hate NHL 23. I didn't mind NHL 23. I thought it was a pretty decent game. They tried something new. They changed the complete system, so I'm wondering if they're going to stick with this perk packaging. It looks like they probably are, and they just need to fine-tune some things. Some things I'm kind of like a little lukewarm on. The offensive zone pressure system, the pressure system in general, where you get tired. I mean, how many seconds into the zone does that kick in? As soon as you cross the blue line, does it kick in? I'm going to have to wait and see on that until I actually physically play the game. the goalie animations, the tethering system, I think that'll be good for some goalies that kind of get lost in the sauce a bit. And the quick touch passing, the one touch passing, I think is big too, because me and you, I think we've talked about this in the past. One issue I've had with NHL 23 is like you got to really be tapping that right trigger to get it over.
Yeah.
And I liked how previous games felt with a lot smoother passing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, the trailer looks pretty good. I know I'm not trying to sound too pessimistic or anything. I always question everything. We try to be authentic here. But if I'm pretty optimistic for NHL 24. I like some of the things they kind of implemented. I'm just hoping it's properly tuned. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you as far as like the offensive pressure. I think that depending on how quick it activates, how long does it take to reset? Like as I mentioned before, does it reset as soon as you exit the zone? Does it reset because there's going to be a lot more icing if that's the case, or does it not reset right away? So there's a lot to really like take a look at once it drops, once the beta drops, and see how they're trying to work it, see how the offensive zone pressure works, see how quickly your guys start fatiguing, because loss in attribute is only going to make it harder to get out of that whole offensive pressure coming in. So how are you going to combat that? Like, are there perks to the other side? I did like the one thing about the goalie, where if they guess right, they actually get like a little bit of a bonus kind of thing, right? And then they were like, oh, if you guess wrong, most likely, it's going to end up leading to a goal. Yeah, duh. If you guess wrong, they're going to score. That normally is what happens, right? So, but I do like that they do give a little bit of a bonus to the goalie in that scenario. Again, the whole fatigue thing, like you and I both said before, like if the goalie's getting peppered and they're getting shots from everywhere, and fatigue starts settling in, yeah, that's going to be very interesting. So, I mean, again, I think it's going to thin out the herd of like the guys who truly are good at certain positions and guys that are just going to play, right? You're going to be able to see the talent differential. The one-touch passing, 100%, it's been a struggle. This with 23, because sometimes like, oh, I one-touched it, or whatever the case is, and then sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of been like 50-50. So maybe with this new system, maybe it actually runs a lot smoother, because EA doesn't like admitting when they're wrong. Yeah. It's all right. You guys messed up, and now you're saying it's new. You fixed it. Okay, good.
So that's going to be our breakdown, our reaction to the trailer. Again, guys, check out ProLevelGamer.com. We'll be going live here within the next 2 weeks, hopefully around 9-10 days. We're going to be having a $5,000 tournament this winter. Free of entry, 6 teams. Sign up, get ready, get your boys, share news. Now, we have a Discord available down below to the UHL. That is the league that currently we are running. That's going to be on the website. There's a lot of big things planned, so make sure to join the Discord and subscribe for more. I'm Cats and Paul. That's my good old friend Fajardo, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.